You are listening to the Urban Sports Scene with Wole and Ray, and we are part of Empire Media at empiremedia.com. It's time for our HBCU Corner series. This man was on our DMV Baller series. Folks, make sure you check out that episode. That's episode 431 on our podcast. We bring to you friend of the show and Morgan State University's men's basketball coach, Kevin Broadus. What's up, coach, and welcome back.
Thanks for having me, fellas. Hello to everyone out there in the universe here. Happy to be here. Just, good old Monday night. Getting ready for some Monday night football. We're going to talk about some HBCU athletics, not just basketball, football, volleyball, soccer, everything.
Yeah, you know it. Hey, I'm glad you mentioned football. You know, football season started. There's a Monday night game, but you coach in Baltimore. But you from DC? Who's your squad?
Redskins.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, coach.
We want to know.
We want to know.
We still the Redskins. I mean, the name is still the Redskins.
There you go, man. I appreciate
that.
Absolutely.
We need to change our old podcast name back to what it was, by the way. I don't like our new name. I don't like the new name either, coach. You just validated everything.
I tell you what, watching us yesterday, I tell you, man, I'm impressed with Carson Wentz. If he can just stay the course, we're gonna be good.
What do you think they can be? Like you saying, we're gonna be good. What do you think?
You know, it's hard to say because our division is such in a flux. I think the Giants must improve. I think Eagles are the best team in the league, in the conference rather.
The conference.
Dallas is gonna be Dallas. I mean. Yes, as you grow up here in the DMV and DC, you learn to hate Dallas, but I still respect their talent. They still have talent. Dallas, with or without that. I mean, they're going to win some, they're going to lose some. They're not like they were last year, though, not as good, but they're good. So we're going to be in the mix. We're going to be right there.
That's what I'm talking about. I like to hear that. I'm the Redskin fan of the team.
Yeah.
So,
I'm
talking about.
I grew up, all my life in Redskins. I liked the Orioles when I was growing up.
Me too. See, we here. Now we here. We here.
The Orioles not my team no more. I like the Yankees.
You're a Yankees fan? What?
I lived in New York for 3 years, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, up in the upstate, that's all you get is the Yes Yet network. So I became a Yankee fan. I love that blue.
You messed me up with that one. I thought you was gonna say Nationals. I was like, all right, that makes sense.
The Nationals,
I'm with you, coach.
I'm a Redskin and a Yankee fan.
Yeah, not the Nationals though. I'm with you, coach. Not the Nationals. So, coach, when you got obviously you coach in Baltimore. You have a bunch of fans. a bunch of players are. I'm sure they're from there. Do you talk trash about that? Like, my Redskins are better than your Ravens or vice versa?
Sundays, it's a big thing. Everything revolves around the Redskins on Sunday. We have practices around their game. We got to practice during their game time.
I love it.
And depending on how they play is the mood I'm going to be in. So
you've been in a bad mood for years then.
Yeah. A couple
do that.
years ago, we were really good. We won the division.
Yeah, see? 79, bro.
I forgot. Yeah, we were 79.
Yeah, it's okay. We won the division, though, Coach. You're right. We won the division. We're good with that. We're good with that. And that's all that matters. All right, well, Coach.
And the Cowboys weren't. That was a great year.
I agree. I totally agree. All right, so Morgan, like I mentioned earlier, before we started the show, Morgan State has a new football coach in Damon Wilson. You both are Bowie State alumni. Excuse me. How excited are you to have him as part of the program? And did you know him prior to being hired?
I did know Damon prior to being hired. I mean, he's a good man. He played for a guy that when I was playing at Bowie, Henry Frazier was his coach. And, we all knew him. I watched him grow, and he did a great job at Bowie, and he's going to do a great job at Morgan. I was at their game Saturday against Towson. He has quickly turned that into a contending team, I think. That product looks totally different. I was impressed Saturday night when they played at Towson how they played, and I think he's going to do a really good job with this team.
No, I agree. I think he's going to do an awesome job. He just seems like we had him on the show. He just seems so structured. He knows what he's doing. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
just like yourself.
You know, he knows what he's doing. He's going to get the most out of those young men. And I tell you, it's not like they got bad talent. They just have to be taught the way he wants them to play, and they'll be better. I'm not saying the guy to be formed, because I thought Coach Wheatley was a good coach, but they seem to be buying into what Coach Wilson Damon is doing, and I think they're going to be really good. I mean, they got a talent like Alfonso Graham. I mean, that kid can be playing on Sundays. If he gets right, do what he's supposed to, and listen to these guys he got in front of him, the sky's the limit with him. I saw some stuff and I was like, wow, this kid is really good.
So, Coach, we can get right into it. So last season, you finished fourth in the MEAC. What are your expectations coming into the season?
Well, our goals are to be, you know, trying to win a championship regular season, then postseason. You know, we have to manage those expectations, but we have to work hard. And we have been working hard in the preseason so far. You know, we get 4 hours a week and we do our 4 hours and we get after it. And we want to be at the top with the Norfolks. You know, we want to, they are the top of the league. You know, we were right there 2 years ago, but, you know, they beat us in the championship. And I think, you know, with the new blood we have, these guys are working hard. They're like sponges. They want to win. They want to be a champion. And we talk about it every day. You know, you can't, you know, always tell these guys, you can't have $1 million dream with a minimum wage work ethic. So we've been really working at it, trying to get to where we're trying to go. So that's where we are right now, you know, just in the hard work phase. I mean, these guys, they idolize and they talk about these guys, they're playing the NBA. And I say, you know, these guys didn't get there by, you know, like the lottery, just by hope. They worked at it, you know. Like I always tell them, you know, you want to live your life like Mayweather. But you know what he always says, hard work and dedication. You got to put the work in when nobody's watching. You know, and we got some guys starting to really believe in that. So I think we got a chance. Barring injury, last year we were beat up pretty bad. And, you know, no excuses. We finished fourth. We went and played in the CBI. Took 8 players. That's it. And a couple of them were walk-ons. So it was a 2-point game with 30 seconds. But, you know, no one remembers all that. They just remember, did you win or did you lose? And we're trying to compete for the championship this year.
I just want to say I love interviewing coaches because it's like coaches have intuition. Whenever you give an answer, it's almost a good segue into the next question. Wole, I'm going to let you ask about the homie Austin Freeman. I'm going to skip a little bit because you mentioned just some new guys in your squad, and you also mentioned Norfolk. And, hey, we love doing this show. We've talked to Coach Jones before. He's pretty much got the same squad coming back, experienced. How's your recruiting process been, and what do you think about bringing in new guys to the fold as you try to compete against the top dog in the conference in Norfolk?
You know, this is the thing, you know, that's a gift and a curse sometimes, you know. Those guys are really good at Norfolk. That's the gift about it. The curse is you never know how complacent they are. Now that they've won it a couple times, you never know. It's all about the process, the grind. And they may be trying to three-peat. They have talent. But I think now we got the right pieces to play along to beat them. I mean, we split with them in the regular season. They beat us to go to the championship last year. But, you know, I just think now we're primed to get to where we need to be. I think we're right there.
So Coach, how has the recruiting process been for you? And can you tell us a little bit about some of your returning players?
Well, right now we have The Rock, the soul of the team, Malik Miller, he's back. You have Isaiah Burke back. You got a kid, Will Thomas, who's come back, who's I think is ready to take the next step. And we got a couple of big men that came back, Colin and Ty Horner. I mean, we got a nucleus of returners, but we got some really good newcomers. We got Khalil, got a kid, Khalil from Philadelphia, Khalil Turner. 6'8" wing is special, reminds us of Troy Baxter, athletic-wise. We got a really good point guard that came in, Daquan Copeland from Philadelphia. We got some good players that's coming in. We got a couple of JUCOs. Kayvon Wiggins, he's really good. He's a scorer. So I think we got what we need, and we can defend too now. That's the big thing. We got better defenders.
So Ray mentioned about Austin Freeman. I'm a Hoya fan. I'm a Georgetown Hoya fan. I love Coach Thompson. We've talked about Coach Thompson prior to this recording. But he also was on our DMV ballers series, and he's a DMV legend, to be honest with you, in terms of what he's done in this area as a hooper. What impact does he have, or has he had so far on your kids in terms of how to play, and also as a dude that I'm sure you had some kids who've seen him play at Georgetown?
First of all, let me correct you. Austin is not a legend. He's not.
Oh man, are you gonna do that?
That's my guy. I recruited him from Georgetown. He reminds me all the time. He was the highest ranked recruit I ever had at Georgetown. Mm-hmm. And I think out of high school, he was like 4th or 5th in the country. And he's probably right. I always, and that was my giving back to him. I knew he always wanted to get in. I thought he should have been afforded the opportunity other places before, and it just worked out this year that I gave him the chance to be an assistant coach, and he's been really, really good. I mean, Austin was a special player. Don't get me wrong. McDonald's All-American, scored like I think 1,500 points at Georgetown, 1,600, whatever it was.
Baller, man. Baller, straight baller.
Special.
Man.
And me and him with his family, we go back, and when I had the opportunity, I said I was going to hire, 2 guys that, either I recruited or played for me, him and Cretchen. So, because they know how you are and what you're about, and they can echo about you better than anybody else out there who don't really know you that's on your staff, but they know. Like I got on the day about, getting with a couple of these guys about the offense, and they know what they expect. So it's a great feeling to have him on the staff. I wish we had someone who could score like him, play like him, not defend like him. I'm telling him I said that, but he's special. And he's special to me. His family, mom and dad, they trusted me when I recruited him. It's funny, I was always tell a story. He came when it was not as, you have to make it cool for these guys. I mean, Georgetown went through that period when we was getting it back, and when Vernon Macklin, he was the first McDonald's I recruited, he made it cool for guys like Austin to come, DeJuan Summers, Chris Wright, all those guys, those McDonald guys that I have been recruiting. So I'm excited to have him.
Yeah, so you was responsible for that team, man. I heard there was a lot of fights in practice back then. But what's funny is, as I mentioned that, Austin, like he said, came on the show, and he's a quiet dude, but he got an edge to him. Like he was talking about how they dominated Maryland. He's like, there ain't no rivalry. We dominate the turf. And you don't expect that from him because he seemed like he's so quiet. So does he bring that kind of quiet, calm demeanor, but that edge to your staff?
He's starting to come out of his shell. Okay. Guys, by nature, he's quiet, yes. But he knows the game. He does have a passion for the game. And I told him, just me being who I am, I said, Austin, you shouldn't be here no more than 2 years because you got a special gift. You should be at the highest level. And I've been at the highest level. Everyone can't do that. Trust me. That's not for everyone. He has a gift that I think he can do it. So he's got to come out of his shell, talk more, because he knows the game. He knows the game.
So you're going to try to get Chris Wright too? They do a podcast together.
At some point, yeah. I mean, I'm not opposed to. Hey, hope guys trust it when, like I say, you got to give back sometimes. They want to get in the game and people give them a chance. They got to start somewhere. And they trusted me. Their families trusted in me when a lot of them didn't want to go to Georgetown. And they came and they had successful careers, and a lot of them are pros. I just talked to Vernon Macklin today, and it's amazing just to hear the stories and some of the things they tell you after the fact, So, yes, Chris, more than one. Hey, as soon as someone move on,
big franchise. Bring big franchise back.
Hey, man, Coach K does it with Duke. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Why
I'm
not?
doing it, but I wouldn't do it just because Coach K did it.
No. I know why you're doing it. Like you're doing it to give back. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Coach K, no, great man.
yeah,
I
yeah.
went to camps, and when I started out, learned a lot from those guys. One of my best friends in this business, Johnny Dawkins, played for him. So, you know, I got all the admiration and respect for him. I'm just saying I'm doing it because it's out of my heart.
Yeah, no, I know that's what I'm saying. Like, I agree with you. I'm saying, like, you know, like that's a good thing in terms of like, I know why you're doing it. Like you had to the story. I know the story you talk about how you had these kids from the beginning, like they're local. You know what I mean? Like Georgetown wasn't sexy. Like I know this. I'm a Hoya fan. It wasn't sexy. When they got Austin and Chris, I was like, oh, wait a minute. You getting local stars. You getting a McDonald's local star to come to Georgetown?
2 in 1 year.
And 2 in 1 year, exactly. So
And
I know.
2 the year before that, I think, if I remember right.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Hey, Coach, can I ask what type of player were you growing up, real quick? Because as soon as we interviewed you last time, you know, my family from Riggs Park and my uncle hit me. I'm like, oh yeah, I used to play against him. He had all these stories. I'm like, oh, Coach Broadus must have talked trash back in the day. So do you put your imprint of how you played on your squad, man?
Yes and no.
Okay.
You know, growing up in Riggs Park, you know, being light skinned, you had to be tough.
Well, Ray knows.
And, you know, don't take the kindness for my weakness. You know, I got a lot of grit to me. You know, but you know, I'm a product of my environment. You know, Riggs Park, and tough guy. Only the strong survive there. So you know, my guys, they got to be tough. That's one thing. I tell you what, if you can play basketball and you got skills, we can teach you to be tough. We can't teach you to be a better basketball player, but we can teach you to at least fake them out like you're tough.
I love it. Well, Coach, for you, like, what does coaching at an HBCU mean to you?
It means a lot, you know, because I look back on it, and yes, I could have went to a lot of other schools, and I started off at Grambling, and it was a gift for me to go to Grambling because I look back on it, it was my people. And you know what really sold me was, you know, I heard the band, I saw the people that looked like me, I figured I could fit in there. You know, if I couldn't go to Georgetown or Maryland back then, I wanted to be around when I was around, when I went down there. Then I transferred back, went to Bowie, and had a great career, you know, Hall of Fame career, and now I'm coaching. So being at HBCU is not like just giving back. It's just being able to relate to these young men and telling them the truth. You know, I walked in your same shoes, black man in America. You know, I'm not faking it. I'm not telling you something that I didn't see or live by. So, you know, I enjoy it. Yes, do we want to make more money? Absolutely. But you know what? It's bigger than that at this point for me, because I've made a lot of money. It's not just making money, it's being happy at what you're doing. I sleep well at night knowing that I gave my all every day. I tell these kids every day, I won't cheat you. I come in here every day and give my all. Don't cheat me. I tell them, this is the hardest class you're going to have all day is in this gym. You know, because I'm teaching you about everyday life. Because I always tell them, look out that window out there. I said, to be honest with you, just keep looking out there, because nobody out there give two shits about you. So there's a world out there. So you got to be tough, and you got to make it in here. Once you make it in here, you can make it in life. That's why I always tell these guys, you know, at the end of the day, you make it on this court. A lot of those corporate Americans want to hire you because they want to be around athletes, because they know they got the work ethic. So I love being at HBCU. I have no regrets. You know.
Well, Coach, man, I know. Signed the extension.
I did.
Signed the extension.
You said he
so,
did.
hey,
He said he did.
I know he did. No, he did. That's what I'm saying. That's how I knew he was committed.
I always tell people, I could have stayed in Maryland and made more money. I bet on myself. You know, I gotta remind myself sometimes why I'm here. I'm betting on myself. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I remember when I first took the job, Big Coach told me, I'll never forget, he said, always wanted to coach at the HBCU, but financially they couldn't pay me to do it. You know? So, I mean, and if bigger and better, I'm not gonna say better things, if bigger things come along, you know, we have to weigh that too, you know. I'm not gonna run to say I'm coaching at X University X. I got a good job. I'm working with good people. My president's one of the best. And I don't say that just to be saying that or for someone to tell him I said it. No. He's afforded us some opportunities that you wouldn't believe. I mean, he is really good. He's got a vision, major vision.
Well, Coach, man, thank you for being part of HBCU Corner. Also, thank you for being a part of like this whole journey and also like the grind of all HBCUs. Man, you're part of the mission. You know what I mean? You're part of the movement. So appreciate you for being on.
I appreciate you guys having me. Keep doing great things too, man.
Well, we will
Absolutely.
try. We will
All
try.
right, we'll be seeing you.
You don't have to try. Just do it. Keep doing great.
Okay, I love it. Okay, you're right. You know what? Yeah, do it. We're gonna do it.
Trying don't always get you where you want to go to. Just do it.
Yeah, that's facts. Real facts right there.
I wish I'd have trademarked that before Nike. Just do it. Don't try. You know, because you can do it. You're doing it.
Facts.
Don't let nobody get in your way.
Okay, all right. We focused though. We are focused. That's a fact.
Okay.
We are focused, man. Thanks again, Coach.
All right, fellas.
All right, take it easy.
Have a good night.
Be blessed. All right.